Hello there and welcome back to Dolan Bikes. Now in the past we have done some videos on the Shimano Di2 group sets, more specifically how to charge them. But there is more to a Di2 group set than simply charging a battery. So therefore today I'm going to walk you through the ins and outs of a 12-speed Di2 Shimano group set. Without further ado, let's get started. So when you order a Dolan bike with Shimano Di2, we endeavour to give each customer what's called a Di2 cheat sheet. This is just a quick run through of all the basics of the things you can do with your new group set. Now before we go on, this does only apply to 12 speed as well. Now the first thing the sheet mentions is what's called a function button. Now this is a little bit hard to find, but it is located on the rear mech about 1 centimetre away from the charging port that we discussed in our last Di2 video. What you can do with this button is a system battery check. Press it once to do this and a solid green light will show if the battery is between 51 and 100%. A flashing green light will show if the battery is between 25 and 50%. And then a red light will show if it's between 1 and 25%. The light will always turn blue before it turns off. So now that we've done a system battery check, we're going to turn our attention to our levers. Now at this point, we should mention that for those who've never used Di2 before, you may be familiar with how to change gears in a standard road bike setup with a mechanical group set, whereby you have to push the lever right in order to change the gears. With Di2, it's a very similar setup, but it's a simple button press rather than having to push the lever right in, so it makes life much easier for you. Now, with the levers as well, they do have their own individual batteries. These are not rechargeable, and they can be located if you were to peel the hood back and undo the bolt, you'll be able to see the two little disc batteries in there. They last approximately 2.5 years, so you don't need to worry about them for a good while. To test their battery life, all you'll need to do is push both of the shifters in at once for about a second, and then a small green light will appear on the lever itself. A solid green light indicates the batteries have between 11 and 100% battery, and a solid red light indicates between 1 and 10%. So the next feature on Di2 I'm going to talk about are the 3 different shift modes that Shimano has to offer. So therefore this is only specific to a double chainset setup. The first mode is called manual, and this is generally what your bike will be set up in when you first get it. This is where you've got full control over changing the front and the rear gears. The second mode is called semi-synchronized. This is where you'll change gears on the front and then it will automatically change between 1 and 3 sprockets on the back to best keep the chain in line and minimize a change in cadence. The third mode is called fully synchronized. This is where you'll change gears on the rear and it will automatically change between your little and big ring on the front. So as you go up in the easier gears, it will change into your little ring automatically, and as you change back down into the harder gears, it will change into the big ring automatically. So now we're going to take a closer look at the bike so I can show you how to change between these 3 different shift modes. So to change between the 3 different shift modes, you're going to come back to the rear mech for that function button we mentioned earlier. Then you're going to double click it like you would a mouse on a computer. And then that changes from manual into semi-synchronized. So you'll notice a double flashing light there. To go from semi-synchronized to fully synchronized, double click the button again, and the light will flash 3 times. Then to go from fully synchro to manual, double click again, and it's a solid blue light. Then you just circle through the 3 different modes just by double clicking the function button. So those really are the basics of Shimano 12-speed Di2. Now there is an app you can get for your Di2 system. This is called the Shimano eTube app, and you can get it on Android or Apple devices. What this will do is go into more details about your system, for example, giving your battery reading as a percentage rather than having to use a color-coded light on the rear mech. It will also offer firmware updates, which do happen from time to time. All you need to do is select you want the update to start, and it will just take maybe a minute or 2. To make sure your phone and the app are connected to your Di2, you need to make sure your Di2 has gone into Bluetooth connection mode. To do this, once again using the function button, press it for about half a second to 2 seconds, and then the blue light will start flashing for 30 seconds. This means your Di2 is in Bluetooth connection mode and it's looking for the nearest device. If your phone's Bluetooth is on, it should find it relatively quickly. So there we go. That is the run through of Shimano Di2 12-speed. If you have any questions about your system, please don't hesitate to contact us. We will help you out in any way we can. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoy using your new group set on your new Dolan bike.